Hey, how's it going, guys? Ancient Rin here, back with another Borderlands 3 video, and today I will be going over the 2023 build refresh of CCCryo Zane. This is by far my favorite gun build for Zane. This is a gun and Mantis hybrid build. This means that your Mantis cannon is also doing a lot of damage. This is very a crit focused build with a lot of crit damage, where your crit hits do large amount of damage, where hitting your body shots usually deal a lot less. We have probably around 250 to 300% crit damage here, which is insane and the most of any Vault Hunter. We also use Green Tree here in a very rare niche that isn't really used often. The save file can be found in my Discord link down below, and if you enjoy this build, make sure to like and subscribe. Alright, and for the gear here, we have a lot of guns that you can choose from. You see, I have a wide variety of guns that I like to use, some better than others, some not. And then here, I'll just show off some of the weapons I really like to use. The Hail is insane. 150% crit damage, so when you hit those crits, that's just 150% multiplicative damage. And that also applies to Mantis, so your Mantis is even stronger with this. It does have an arc you gotta get used to, but once you get it down, you just kill everything. I usually just kind of barrel stuff them, and that works fine since I have barrier and deterrence field. It's pretty easy not to get hit. Here we have a Bloodstar Beast. This is a gun that gets assault rifle damage instead of SMG damage, so it's really nice to have with your assault rifles to just have a backup for ammo, or just to use it if you want. Lucian's Call is a very good gun and one of my favorites. It's very satisfying to use. Just great all around. I don't think this is max damage. I'm pretty sure it can get higher, but I don't really care. It's just, I really enjoy using this. It's very satisfying. It ricochets. Kaosin, really good. I feel like everyone knows that. Redistributor, a go-to Zane gun, just very nice. Smog is very underrated. It's a like pretty good gun. It's not like as strong as like a crit, but it can do good damage on Zane. When you ADS, you get like 150% gun damage from full shield, and we have that protected. Barriers so we don't get hit. And then like in other builds, if you get Armament Flint, then you just kind of have that there too, which is awesome. I don't go it on this build, but I definitely would if I could. Bitch is just kind of like a fun one, not that good. It has good crit hit damage, which makes it good for Mantis. The crit, no brainer, good DPS, 150% crit as well. Chaos is very fun, but you gotta kind of stand back. Clairvoyance, I only have a regular one. I don't have a Gatlin one. You wouldn't want a Masher because you reload too much, but Clairvoyance is pretty fun. Helix is another like average one, but fun. Convergence is very good. Butcher is amazing. I love it on this build. One of my favorite guns to use on this build. And then Conference Call is pretty mediocre and just kind of like fun to use. And then we have a Sandhawk. I usually put this in, I think this one has a semi-auto mode, and I use that and just kind of like tap my finger and just hit with getting enemies and hoping for the best. Stalker's one of those, can be good, just kind of fun to use weapons. And then for bossing, I have a kick charger and a back burner. Now depending on the boss, you won't need these. Optimally you would take these just because they're so strong, but if you can't hit a crit, then these are definitely the go-to. You'll see we go barrier crit on here. This gives 125% crit damage, which is a lot. This rewards having good gameplay. I would probably say that next to max is technically optimal, but for this playstyle I like to do, I really like barrier crit, and it's got increased accuracy to help getting better crit damage as well. Just a very fun thing. It just helps reward smart gameplay. And then also we have the free radical. This one is just used for fight for your life. Strong weapon to have. You could also use a crit for that. You probably want to go consec hits. You could also go consec hits here. Just something that you can easily stack up damage. And then this is just for move speed. This isn't for damage here. And then of course the shield, we go Revolter. It's one of the go-to shields that you'd go for any gun build. I like going recharge parts so I can get my shield back faster for Calm Cool Collected. But you could also go Vagabond for move speed. I have a low level one here. I don't remember why. I think this was trying like manually break it, but I didn't end up doing it. These don't really need Frozen Heart. You can use, but I highly recommend not using it. And then just a super soldier here. Just messing around with a bunch of shields. But Revolter is really what you want to use. You get that strong bonus element as well, which is very important. Then of course we have action skill start for whenever we activate Mantis, we get the Revolter bonus. And then here we use an Executor. This is very strong. It gives 105 crit damage. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 105 crit damage at max. And very good accuracy and handling, which is very nice for this build. Then we also have a spy. If you find a good one, you can use that. You get Arming Flint, which I said, like with Smog, that's pretty nice. But you gain a lot less crit damage. So I prefer not to do this. And you also don't get the good utility skills for damage on Executor. For the skill rolls, I like to get Playing Dirty and Violent. Violence, you want to try and get at least 7 in Playing Dirty, because then you have a 98% chance. So whenever you get a kill or activate action skill, you should always have your next 5 shots get an extra projectile. And then Violence just when we're fired, which is really nice. You can also get Good Misfortune if you do get one. I'd probably take a point out of here and put it in one of these if you need so. Just because you don't really need Good Misfortune too much. With Calm Cool Collected, you could go 3 here, since that's usually what you go with barrier builds, is 3 Good Misfortune. But I also don't like to, because it's another thing of rewarding good gameplay. And then for the passives here, we go action skill damage, weapon type damage, and splash radius. Splash radius is for those strong hollow points and red explosions. And then you match the weapon type damage to the guns you're using, and then action skill damage to boost your Mantis cannon. Now, if you don't care for your Mantis doing damage, you can change this with manufacture crit if you want. Splash damage if you have a slash gun. Crit damage in general if you don't want to worry about manufacturers as well. Just anything you find with those rolls will do really well. The reason I don't go crit damage on here is because we already have, like, I think almost 300% crit damage. And we could pass that for sure, but we don't here. Just very strong, but getting at any of these passives is a lot better than getting manufacturer crit or crit damage. Now, of course, if you're farming, and you probably won't get these perfect rolls, so those passives are very nice. And then this is another class mod for bossing. This is just antifreeze, violent momentum with a back burner, kick charger, shoot it, and then the boss will be dead. Just for very quick and easy bossing. I usually just kind of do that, especially for like Wotan, where you can't crit it. So that's where Execute is really nice. And then we go to It's Piss for the debuff, and also just for the ASC Rad. That's really all that matters is ASC Rad. Any grenade will work. Actually, the grenade doesn't matter because we don't go duct tape mod here, or any form of throwing grenades. So any grenade with radiation will work great. I have an ASC Corrosive, but you just go Rad because you want to have those Rad explosions. And then we go in Icebreaker Victory Rush here. This is for the V2 bonus when enemies are frozen. This will be very, very strong. Well, enemies will pretty much always be frozen once you hit it enough, so this is just very nice to have. And then I go Cryo damage, mag size, and AoE. You could also go weapon type, but I wanted to get some elemental damage in here, so I didn't go the weapon type. You'll see like here I have the pistol damage, which you definitely don't need. I'd focus AoE damage and then either element, weapon type, or mag size. At least two of three on Icebreaker Vic Rush. If you just get AoE, that'll also work fine. You want to make sure you have it in the second or third slot so it also gets slash radius, and that is what will even help even more. And then you could also use a accompaniment matching the manufacturer want to use. You want to get crit hit damage, fire rate, mag size, or you can also get damage. It's gun damage, which is out of violent momentum, but it's very, very good for fight for your life and very useful. Same thing, get AoE, mag size, and then probably just element. And then we just have a couple other things. Atom Bomb can be used if you find that for bigger explosions. Toboggan for bossing, heavy damage, and AoE. And then of course the Pearl if you find one. It's not great to use on Zane, but it can work, and it's also great fight for your life damage. And then for the skill tree here, first off we have no red tree. That means no duct tape mod, which means you are not immune to your splash damage. So you want to be careful with that, but we're also not throwing grenades, so you're safe from your own grenades. So just to watch out for. We also don't have borrowed time, so our barrier duration is a lot shorter, but we get it back with Comical Collected. Now, green tree sucks. It's terrible. Terrible skill tree. But why do we use it? For Cool Collected. Cool Collected is a very good skill for this reason. Gaining back Mantis Cannon. This means we can shoot it more, which means we can get more damage out of it, and you don't have to wait for cooldown. We also don't have to use Brain Drain. Brain Drain can work, but this also works better because then anything we're doing when freezing takes back a charge, where this has to get a crit hit from the shoulder cannon, which is a little mediocre. Now this also helps with proliferation a lot, because that means we have more charges, which means we get more cannons damage whenever we shoot it. And this is a pure multi damage, that 20% per charge, pure multi or Mantis Cannon. So that's why this is really nice. And then this also has a lot of good utility. This is a very much utility tree. Ready for action, recharge rate, and delay. Because of Guardian rank, which one is it? Shield Reboot, you don't really need to worry about the delay, but the recharge rate is very important. So we get that. Adrenaline, just for better cooldown when our shields are up. They should usually be up. Just some extra cooldowns, really nice. Rise to the occasion, this is based on max health. This is a very, very good skill. This helps against dots very, very well. This is when your shield is down, so this is why it's very helpful. But when your shield's up, you won't be getting this bonus. That's fine. You'll still be getting a good amount whenever you do take health damage, and that's when you need it. Brain Freeze, slow down enemies. That's why it's just so great. This helps with freezing as well. You're already hitting crits, you get more freezing besides using frost or cryo weapons. Really expensive jacket. I love this. I love this skill. You just get half duration on status effects, meaning it's easier to survive. And then of course we have Cool Collected. This refreshes our action skills, which means it refreshes barrier and refreshes Mantis Cannon, so we can shoot Mantis Cannon more and we can have barrier out longer. Now we don't go Nerves of Steel mainly because we can't do it without giving up Eraser, which I really like having, or Death Follows Close, and that's just not worth it for getting better accuracy. And nothing else really helps here. Confidence, it's just gun damage, so it doesn't help here. Refreshment we don't need because we already have Salvation. So this is why we go all the way just down to Collected. Now here we have All Rounder. This is to protect us from everywhere. This is basic for Zane builds. Now here we have Deterrence Field. I love this because this helps protect you even more with Barrier, where this kind of like helps Barrier be better, because really Clone is a lot better at protecting you than Barrier, because even when you're not using it for damage, just because of the aggro draw is really nice. So that's usually why you'd want to go Clone instead of Barrier. But here, Deterrence Shield stops enemies from coming into your barrier area, so then you can shoot them. This also makes it easier to hit crits. You can run into enemies when you have your barrier picked up, and that'll stun them, and then you can just shoot them in the crits. It's very fun as well. It's very amusing to see it happen. And then for Purple Tree, this is just basic Purple Tree gun build. We have Mana Focus for the accuracy. We don't need Deja Vu. We are getting crits a lot, but I'd rather reload than give up any of these. And also, it takes from your reserve, so it's not as nice. And we don't need the regen as much as accuracy. Heads and Hands, crit damage, no brainer. Commitment, some nice gun damage, and mainly for the active skill cooldown rate if needed. Fugitive, sprint and run. Domino effect for the fire rate and reload speed. We'll be hitting a crit hit with just in general and with our active skill a lot, so we'll be getting this bonus really nice. And then Eraser for those double depth shots. If you line up your shots, then this gets really good effect. I really love it, like in Melon Takedown and Kraken, because you can't crit the Kraken spot yet, but you can hit an enemy and line that up, or just hollow point it. Both work really well. And then here we use Cold Shoulder. This is for better freeze rate, a little less cannon damage, but we easily make it up. And we go Proliferation for more charges, and then also you gain bonus damage from this. I hope you guys enjoyed the build video. I love how rewarding this build is with good aim. It's also really nice using Mantis Cannon for damage instead of just spamming it for anointments. You don't have to use Mantis Cannon for damage, but I highly recommend it as it's just so much fun to me. The save file will be found in my Discord link down below, and make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.